All right. Hello, my friends. We're going to talk about Pluto in Aquarius through the houses. So quickly to begin, we're going to show you how to find it in your own astrology. A lot of you have taken classes with me, so you should know how to do this, but let's do it as for the heck of it anyways, because I want you to see the systems I'm using. Okay. Yeah. Making sure I got it going. So let's take a look at the charts so you can see. And then I'm going to do one of every. I'll show you what it looks like with all of them. So let's start here. Everybody's chart. I'm going to start with this one, chart number 3. This is the Placidus house system, you guys. This is what I use, and whenever I'm talking any of the new moon, full moon, monthly, weekly forecasts, I always use the Placidus house system. It's what I learned. It is much more accurate. It's accurate. It's my opinion. It's very accurate because it's trigonometry. It's not just figuring out equal houses, but I will show you all of them and we will have that conversation with equal houses and whole sign houses. I'll show you the difference, 3 differences. This is what I want you to look at to begin with. You need to find where is 0 Aquarius in your own astrology chart. This is the ascendant. This chart, just random chart in front of us. It's random. Placidus house system. Look at that, 24 degrees on the ascendant. It goes this way. So if the ascendant is 24 degrees, where is 26 and 27 and 28 and 29 in Gemini going to be? It's going to be in here. Where's 0 Gemini going to be? Back here. 0, and it moves forward, right? There's 14 Cancer, go this way. And the rest of Cancer's here, half of it's in here, half of it's in here. Just follow around from left to right. It goes that way. Drawing with my mouse, it's a little messy. So that's what you need to discover in your own chart. I have somebody that says, I don't know where it is. Maybe I'll be able to figure it out. Yes, you can. Find Aquarius, look for Aquarius. All right, there it is. So we're going to go around the chart and again, go in this direction. Okay, counterclockwise. Some people don't even know what that is, but I just want you to go in that direction. Let's find Aquarius. This random chart has Aquarius on 2 house cusps. That's Placidus. It will do that sometimes, especially if you live in the Northeast. Northern latitude. So if that's 4 and it keeps going this way, and this one's 28, then where is 0? It's before 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not being sarcastic. I just want to make it nice and clear. Here is 0 Aquarius. I know the numbers have to be written in here, so it won't be perfect, but 0 is right about there. Okay. Just because we need space to write these out. To be honest, I mean, this is a wheel that has 360 degrees. Divided by 12 zodiac signs, it means there's 30 degrees in every zodiac sign, and each one of them starts with 0. Now, officially, 0 is right about here, but we can't squeeze all of those 3 planets that are between 0 and 4 degrees of Aquarius into one place. So that's why it looks like they're taking up more space, because they are physically, but 0 starts right about here. Find it in your chart. That's all you need to do. Find 0 Aquarius in your astrology chart. And remember, if this says 4 degrees, look for the little degree bubble. Don't look at that little, because it says 24 with a dash. That's 24 minutes. It's 0 degrees. 4 degrees and 24 minutes. Make sure you pay attention to that too. Use your eyes and look. See, that number has a little bubble after it. That number has a dash after it. That has a little bubble, that little bubble meaning percent. Okay. Degree, meaning's degree. The dash means minute. Okay, find it. Good luck. Now, and this is what it looks like if we're using, let me see which system is here. This one is the whole sign houses. I'll show you the ascendant is entered in. Whoops, I don't know what that was. The ascendant is entered in. but they put 0 degrees on each house cusp to make it easy, not overly accurate. That's why I want you to find the Placidus, use the Placidus system and find it. But again, you can do whatever you want. It's your chart. You're interpreting it for yourself. There's the Placidus, and here is, this one is equal houses, meaning whatever degree is on your ascendant. If you have an accurate birth time, it will put that same degree on every house cusp. Very, never accurate. I wouldn't use this at all, but some people are talking about it, so they want to use it. I would not use equal houses at all. Not at all. I would use Placidus to be very accurate, and if you're having a hard time with it, just do whole sign, okay? Good. There we are. Let's get started. So what I've done is I've done whole sign houses, and see if I can get all of these to open up. View the current chart. 7. Yes. So let's get started. I'm going to turn off my face. So, and then, oh yeah, let me share this too. Make sure I'm still sharing the right picture. Yes, I am. Good. Okay. This is the basic that you will find in, like, if you have a big workbook that we've taught from. And this is just, do a snapshot of this and you can see it. And that's the houses. There's a really brief descriptions about those houses. Stop the recording if you want to take a quick snapshot of that. All right. Or if you really need it, it's in your book. It's in your big workbook. You'll find it in the chapter, your big workbook, Astrology for Yourself, that workbook. All right, back to the charts. If you have Aries rising, then that means that Pluto, we start with that Aries rising, you're going to have Pluto in the 11th house, right? There's Pluto. Venus enters Aquarius on Friday the 16th, and we'll spend 3 weeks there. And so right now, and the sun moves on, but for the next 3-4 weeks, we have all of these guys in Aquarius, which adds to the depth of what's going on. They all made a conjunction to Pluto over the last few weeks, and that means Pluto is very active. So Pluto in Aquarius, what it's actually doing, and it's going to be in there for ages, it will pop out in September, October, November into Capricorn and come back in. If you really want to know the depth of this, make sure you're either at tier 3 or tier 4 here on Patreon. Okay, so Pluto, this doesn't go anywhere else. It's just for you guys. The Pluto in Aquarius brings that transformative energy. We're looking at what is transforming. These are the keywords you're going to write down right now. What is transforming? What is changing? What do we need to evolve? This is like evolutionary astrology. Pluto in Aquarius is highlighting that. That branch of astrology will probably explode as well as just astrology, because it gives us an opportunity to reform what's going on, to be innovative, and to be very progressive with new ideas, right? And especially right now in February, while we have Mercury, Venus, Mars, all in Aquarius, they are all giving us, just sending us the vibe of like, I need to shift. I need things to change. How can I come up with new ideas? How can I release old things that are just repetitive and are not working for me anymore? Very important that we focus on that. And now that it's in the 11th house, with it in the 11th house, that's the natural placement of Aquarius, as you can see here. What in your life, if it's in your 11th house, what in your life, and friendships and your social network and the things that are important to you, this collective things, the groups, right? Something new can start to show up for you. Now, Pluto will spend the next 20 years, again, with that exception in the fall of this year, 2024. It gives us this opportunity for you to really work towards those important social things that are for you. All right. I'm going to take my face out of here again because I'm just reading my notes right now. You don't need to see that. But it gives us, just kidding. I'm not kidding, but I am kidding. It just gives us that opportunity to take what we feel when it comes to friends, social environments, our groups, and we get to take it to a deeper level. Again, these next 3 or 4 weeks, while these planets are moving through there, when is Pluto going to be all by itself in Aquarius? That's a really important thing to find out too. Let me grab the ephemeris here and find out. Do. I didn't do that ahead of time, did I? I did not. Here we are in January, here we are in February. And let's just see when Mars and Venus leave Aquarius. Mercury leaves Aquarius right around February 23rd, February 24th, approximately. And Venus and Mars, Venus will leave right around March 12th, and Mars will leave right around March 23rd. So by the time the ephemeris is GMT, so I'm not interpreting it for New England. But by the time we get to March 23rd, the only planet left in Aquarius will be Pluto. So we'll double check right here. And come on, I know where March is. Yeah. It's late in the night on March 22nd. See, that's why I knew it was approximately. So that gives us between now, this recording, I'm doing this on the 14th of February. We have from now until we get to that 22nd to spring, the rest of the winter. Somebody will be with Pluto in Aquarius, and that gives us that opportunity to really feel how we want to be more innovative and changing. So take this opportunity right now. Again, I'm putting this out on February 14th. So February 14th through March 22nd. While there are other planets in the sign of Aquarius with Pluto. And, you know, even if you don't have time to act on new thoughts and ideas, you can still write these things down, because for you who have it in the 11th house, it's again, all that information I just gave you is going to be about your friendships, your social networks, collective things that mean something to you. Like if you like to get behind a big cause, you're one of many who believe the same thing. That's what we can do. We're going to see a lot of this in the world around us, of course, but this is the personal piece. So that deep transformation within your associations, your acquaintances, not necessarily the super close friendships, that's the 7th house, but this 11th house. So you're drawn to that, and you're drawn to group environments. So if you have it in that, if you have Aries rising, then you would most likely have it in the 11th or 10th houses. And so that's how it feels. Let's move on to the next one. We have 12 to do. When we have Taurus rising, if you had 0 Taurus rising approximately, this is where I have it. So now this means Pluto is in the 10th house with all these planets. And this is that focus of all the things we've already said. And for you and for me, it's our career focus. And how is that changing? I know, I'm working really hard to get this Patreon to grow a bit more, because I would like to make this my main focus, as well as just private client work and private mentor stuff. So that's what I really want to be doing. I don't want to have too many balls in the air anymore. I'm retiring. I don't want to retire. I can't retire, but I'm of that age. But, so I know slowly but surely I am, moving more and more to be more efficient. But I have to change the way I've been doing things. I've been doing this business for decades. But for me, for you, you might not be self-employed, so that might not be your focus, but it still is that area of our career and how people see us. And it is social activism. It is technology in our career. It could be humanitarian work, right? Humanitarian work. Looks like we're going backwards through here, because we are. Because as this moves forward, that moves back a house. You'll notice. So with it in the 10th house, we can find that there can be some major evolution in your career, if you can label what you do as a career. However, it can also be a major evolution in your profession. This is big, profound shifts in your public persona and how the world sees you. Don't be frightened of these things because this is what is evolving. Pluto is somewhere in your chart always. It started in somewhere in a house and it has been moving through. It takes 240 approximately years to go through the whole zodiac, so we only get it in certain areas. So focus on that. What is that look like for you? Let's go to the next. Now, the next one is if you have Gemini rising, we got the ascendant in there. Let's not have that in there. Let's move that out. We don't need that in there anymore because we're just talking about these guys right here. And eventually we'll move Pluto. I mean, no. Let's just move on. Gemini rising puts the Pluto bundle, the Pluto stellium right now, into the ninth house. So in the ninth house, this is our beliefs, higher education. They go through a big transformation. Really, what you believe in, it can be a crisis of what I believe in. This house is that. It's Jupiter's natural home. It's Sagittarius' natural home that represents, what I believe in. And you might have a whole, just this moment of aha moment or something in your life shifts how you feel about something, not just not just emotion, but deep, what you believe in. Big changes can go on here. What we believe in can go through, again, I just said that, those deep changes. In here, if you're connected in some way personally to a foreign country, foreign from the country you live in, or foreign from the country you were born in, if that's part of your life experience, it's not mine, but if it's part of yours, then that could potentially mean that you're moving to a new country or something really significant about where you live is changing. It's not about home, but it's about the country you live in. The whole United States is effed right now anyways, but we're not alone. There's plenty of other places that are like this, aren't there? Yeah, there is. All right. If you have Cancer rising, then this stellium of Aquarius, Pluto, and all the other planets are in your eighth house. So when they're in the eighth house, what we're focusing on, again, use all those other keywords I just gave you. It's about our shared resources. That something about that is going through a change. So where the information is being given to us that shows us something is different. Eighth house is the house of shared resources, our intimacy, how things are transforming. It's Pluto's natural home, so he's comfortable in this place. However, that means that there is some change, some power, some control is going through a different change. This is one of the money houses. And so this means we could actually come up with or discover some sort of financial insight or a new strategy. Aquarius on the eighth has an awful lot to do with electronic money. I mean, I know we all bank electronically now. That's old news, but this is more than that. So discover what that might be for you. You might be interested in learning more about those electronic ways of money. I don't know anything about them, so I cannot give you the right verbiage about what that is, but in a way, things like cryptocurrencies and whatever else is in that department. I guess I should probably look it up sometime because I just don't know what it is. But those are all of those things, because this house also represents if you have a spouse and or a partner, whether it's your spouse or a business partner, that represents their money as well. It's the second house from your partners. And so that represents their money as well. That is something that you have access to. So again, that's why it's shared resources. So if you and your spouse, husband, wife, whomever, you pool your money into one account for household things, that's an eighth house thing. That's an eighth house money thing. So that can go through an evolution. You might just need to have that conversation with them because things are too separate and you want to pull things together. You have to look at what your current life circumstances are like. And if that doesn't fit, then process a little bit more and see, well, maybe it's my intimacy. Maybe I need to start investing my own money. Maybe I need to look at my own estate, all of those things. And if you really need insight, book a session. If you're drawn to do that, because that's the next step. If you can't, if this doesn't make enough sense to you. If you have Leo rising, then this is in the 7th house. That makes Pluto in Aquarius and this stellium of Aquarian planets here from February and further. It's in that house of relationships, partnerships, your spousal relationship, your business partnerships. It definitely impacts that. And that means it can mean there is a big change in your relationship. I have seen it, Pluto in clients' charts moving through that sector. And this is not doomsday. This does not mean that your relationship is over. However, if you're in a really good, loving, respectful relationship with anybody, whoever you have those strong relationships with, because it's the partnership, it's the business partnership, it's your spouse, it's your best friend or friends, if you have a few of them, the people you really have a lot of respect for. It goes back and forth. You respect each other, you love each other, you can trust each other and feel vulnerable with each other. If that does not describe your most intimate relationships, then when Pluto and all of these planets are in there already, you're already feeling it. But Pluto will slowly help you to move through that, to evolve into a better place. Now, if your partner comes with you or not, you'll discover at some point in time. But this gives you, because we're not looking at your partner's chart, we're looking at your chart. This gives you an opportunity to evolve in partnerships and relationships. Again, whether they're your very intimate, private, spousal relationship, whether it's a business partner you're working with, or a very close friend that you and that person have a lot of respect and you're very intimate with each other. You tell each other everything. They're a safe place to unload. You're a safe place to unload. You feel that vulnerability between the two of you and you're safe with each other. I have a girlfriend like that. I don't have any boyfriends. I don't have any guy friends, but been single for a while. Doing this on Valentine's. What else would I be doing? We could talk about this house placement for a while, but that is what we look for. So let me see if there's anything else going on here that I might not have spoken about. I wrote this out earlier too. Yeah, and you know what? Aquarius, if Pluto and all of these Aquarius planets are in your 7th house, then this can open you up to some form of socialism, not in that way, but where you're feeling drawn to help a group of people, like, just going and serving others. It's something like that too. So there's a number of different ways this can work. However, because that Aquarius is not overly personal, but we're talking about it in a personal way because we're talking about your house placement. Yeah. So give yourself some time to process all of this. Let's keep going. If you have Virgo rising, then this Pluto is in your 6th house, right? This Pluto and all of this Aquarius pile up is there. And that is the area of work, right? Your job, not what you're known for and your career reputation. It's not that. It's your work. It's like, I got to drive to work and these are my duties that I do every day. I park in this spot. I go in, I get coffee, I get to my desk, I look at my email. It's that type of process and routine. That needs to change. That needs to change. Radical changes, transformative changes. Every one of these houses that Pluto moves through is about transformative changes. Slowly. But again, right now we're focused over the next 6 weeks between now, this recording, February 14th, and when we get to that, till the spring shows up, March 22nd, we have that opportunity to really dig in deep because of the other 4 planets that have been in Aquarius. But Pluto will be there again for 20 years. But this pile up is important because it's helping us to break the shell a little bit. So we're able to start to gather information so we can make the changes that need to be made. Pluto in Aquarius in the 6th house, again, radical changes or evolutionary changes, transformation. I keep saying changes, but that's what Pluto wants things to evolve. It wants things to transform. And Aquarius represents, I need to do things in a different way. I need to be innovative. I need things to change. And so this can create some major changes in how you do your job, the daily in and out of work. All right. It really makes a difference. Something will evolve. And so you're able to do more in a different way or more efficient. Time will tell. 6th house is also the daily routine that you and I have, whatever that looks like to you. You get up, you go to the bathroom, you turn the coffee on, you drink some water, take your vitamins, whatever it is. That's my routine. I don't take the vitamins until I eat, though. They make me nauseous. So what is your daily routine? If I had this in my 6th house, I know that I would be looking at a different way to do my health. What is it that I want to do every day? Aquarius rules electronics. It rules electric things, high tech, you know, if you haven't, I've never had one of those things on my wrist that tells me what my heartbeat and things like is. Maybe you, if you have Pluto in that area, you want to do that. So you're actually able to keep up with some things. It rules the electrical system. Aquarius rules the electrical system. It also rules our knees and our ankles. Aquarius. So this is a health position for this, but it's also, what do I do every day in and out to keep my health optimal for me? This is an opportunity for change. This is an opportunity to evolve into what just is going to work next. What's better? If you have Libra rising with that, that puts the Aquarius planets in your 5th house. Now that 5th house has a few categories like all of them do. It's about our creativity. Maybe you're going to start doing some AI art. Take your art, throw it into some AI something or other, and it helps you to evolve your art into something even more futuristic or different or better. I don't know. Just a thought. That's the 5th house. That's the creative side of having all this Aquarius energy in your 5th house. If you have Aquarius, if this is where these are, you already have Aquarius there. That means you're already feeling these things that I'm talking about. Pluto is going to help you to change them and evolve them. Yeah, into what's next. 5th house is our romance, where we're passionate. That will come from the mind. Aquarius is an air sign. We're going to change that a little bit too. And this can just, we can feel like if a passionate love relationship, because I know some people have these casual relationships, that's life, right? Sometimes they can get too serious. And having all this Pluto energy in there can help you to evolve and move past that, feel like you need to break free. It's also the house of your children, if you have children. Or if, say, if you're a teacher and you teach a lot of kids. You know, this is a great opportunity. I know electronics isn't always everybody's favorite thing, but they're here to stay. And this is an opportunity to evolve electronically, especially if you're teaching kids on how they can use certain things, anything like that. And again, if it's just you don't have children and this is your creative place, this is where you have your Aquarius is in your 5th house, then you already understand how to do the quirky art or do the stuff that's just like cutting edge. It's not like the Dutch masters who paint like it's a freaking picture. I love that stuff. That's my fave. I'm not a fan of abstract art. It doesn't make any sense to my brain. But if you have Aquarius in the 5th, it will to you. Just a thought. If you have Scorpio rising, then potentially you would have this Aquarius energy in your 4th house. Now, this is the base of the chart. This is our family dynamic. It's what our family has taught us. It's what our family heritage is. Can be genetic. And you might have something genetic show up that is, a pain in your ass, but it's mainly the belief system of what your family has brought to you, what they, so many of us have this poverty consciousness because a lot of our parents and grandparents grew up through the Depression. I know mine did. And because I'm in my 60s now. And but if it wasn't your parents, it was your grandparents and great grandparents. But that belief, unless they were wealthy people, the belief of that scarcity has definitely bled down through into us. This is just one example, my personal example, that scarcity mode, that scarcity thought. So when you have, that's the fourth house, by the way. Yes, it's home. Yes, it's family. It can represent a parent. Lots of times, parent meaning mother or father. Lots of times, it represents one of those adults that raised you. But since it's Aquarius, I also want you to think about your psychological lineage that is there too. We have a chance to break free from that. We have a chance to evolve past that old strict way of thinking. And then it can create that evolution. Pluto in any one of these houses, as we've already been talking about, does create that opportunity for things to evolve in regard to the family. Can something in your family fall apart? It sure can. That can happen at any time to anybody. But with all of these Aquarius planets moving through here, it's possible that that can happen because you're needing to grow in the direction you're needing to grow. I'm not looking at your family's charts, looking at, we're looking at your chart alone. So it gives you that opportunity to evolve that lineage of belief, right? I really feel it's more about beliefs because this is this air quality, Aquarius, fixed air. And that is something that you have an opportunity to change. So you can use these unconventional steps and things like that. Where's my pencil? I'm going to write something. And just to give you some ideas, I've already mentioned it in other videos, but I just want to tie something up when we get to the end. Now, and it just popped in. See, that right there is a Aquarius moment where it's like, oh yeah, don't forget this. And I write it down because I'm on the fly, even though I have a few notes. It's just on the fly. That's how I roll. It's not always a good thing. Let's move on. All right. Get rid of that ascendant icon. Here we are. If you have Sagittarius rising, this is a sign that moves pretty quick across the ascendant. If you have Sag rising, then that means that this Pluto energy is in the third house. That's an air house to begin with as well. So, I mean, let me tell you, with it in the third house, this is your mental thoughts and processes are just going to soar. You're just going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to have new ideas, unconventional thoughts, unconventional ways to express yourself. You're not staying in a box. You are moving forward. You really, really want to feel things are different and things are beginning to evolve and change. That third house is communication. It's the mental process. It can represent our siblings. Some of us might have a lot going on with our siblings, so that is something that you can just, write down if it is for you. I don't know if it's your siblings or not, but if it is, then you can know that what's going on for them is evolving because we can see what's going on with other family members through your own chart. And that's one of the ways we could see it right there. But back to you, just about you, this is about the new and profound relationships that you can have with family members, with your local local people, the neighbors. That's what I'm trying to say here, your local community. New relationships there, starting groups, neighborhood watch, whatever you want to do. It's about your neighborhood, your cousins, your siblings, any and or all of those things. And then, of course, top notch is your mind. Third house is about thinking, processing. And that's what we got going on with that one. Next, we have, if you have Capricorn rising, then this is in your second house. So the second house is another financial house. It's opposite number 8, but this one is the house of what you love, what you value, how you earn money, using your skills and talents. If you have Aquarius there, you should already be somebody who is about communicating or working in electronics of some kind, computer stuff, right? Anything like that, that's Aquarius. I know, what is cutting edge now? I don't know. I mean, for the last 20 years, it's been like really dig into electronics. I still know plenty of people, all different ages, that have nothing to do with computer stuff. They just aren't interested. But they're in their 20s, people in their 20s, their 40s, and all the way past me. Anyways, but with Aquarius in that second house and Pluto and all of these other guys coming through there, your values you'll start thinking and believing and moving through a whole new value system. How you use your skills and talents can evolve. It needs to. All right. We can't be left behind, depending on what your field is. You have to be updated regularly. That second house is how we use our skills and talents to earn a living so we can buy the things that we love and we value. See, it's a complete circle right there. What I value. So this is an opportunity for you to make a change in that department. I could say if you choose to. However, if Pluto's in there, it's saying it's time to choose. It's time to slowly move into something that is more modern, feels freeing to you. And it's a shift in the values. All you have to do to say, well, we know what we love and we know what we value. That's our lives. We can identify that. If somebody says, what's most important to you? That's what you value. But Pluto is saying, like, it's not that we have to not value those things, but we need to move them forward into something that is more in line with the times, because times have changed. We are changing. Everything's changing. The vibe of the planet's changing, but we're in an upheaval as well. We could see that everywhere, can't we? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Now, is there anything else I want to say about that? Financial matters, values undergo a radical transformation with this placement. And yeah, here we are. The financial, just the simple financial piece of it is that you can find new ways to invest your money as well. Just be safe. I'm not a financial astrologer, so do your homework. Now, I already did that. Cancel, redraw. There we go. Now, if we have Aquarius rising, that means all of these planets are in the first house. Well, that's just odd how that happened. That went bizarre. This should be first. Wow, let's redraw that. Oh, this software went all effed up here. It should be 0, 2, 4. Mercury and the sun should be down there. Well, they aren't. Wow, that is so weird. Let's go look. See how they're right here? And if we're going to go, what did I change? Oh, that is just odd. Here, I'm going to animate that. Let's go to chart number 16 and just animate it. That's just bizarre. I don't like how that did that. I want you to see it in the correct way. Whoops. Let me just go ahead a couple hours. Well, it's just going to do, that's just software flaw. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. But with all the Aquarius, because 29 does not come before 0. So Mercury and the sun should be down here. And they aren't. I think that's just bizarre. Software flaw. All right. With Pluto and all of these planets in Aquarius in the first house, this is your identity. Pluto coming across the ascendant recently. It's been doing that for a little while now. It's been back and forth across Aquarius, quite a few. Again, it's going to pop back into Capricorn later in 2024. the energy of this is, it's like yourself, who you are, is ready for a transformation. You're ready to slowly evolve. This is about your personal identification, how you express yourself personally. Now, it could be that you just feel like you need to start initiating things. You're not seeing enough being done for a certain group of people. Aquarius loves to work for the underdog. Maybe you're not seeing enough done for homelessness, or you're not seeing enough done for stray animals, whatever your heart desires, right? That's something that we're looking at when we have Pluto in the first house, because you will feel like you'll be the pioneer, the leader in creating something like that. Now, some of us don't want to do those things, and maybe you won't, but if you have all of this Aquarius energy in your first house, you are somebody who is a pioneer. You are somebody who knows how to stir things up and get things going, right? I'm thinking of a couple people I know that have Aquarius rising, and you're activists in your own way, okay? You don't have to think of that in the way of everybody else, but in your own way, you're this. You're going to push boundaries. You're going to push what is the social norm. And you're going to do that because you're driven to do it and it's what you desire. Yeah. You want to help those who cannot help themselves, whatever that looks like in your community. And then the final chart that we have here, see how they went back to the right place? Isn't that interesting? I don't know what that was about. And I'm hung up on it. I can stop that now, right? All right. And now if you have Pisces rising, you're such a super sensitive person to begin with. And all of this Aquarius stuff is in your 12th house. So this just means this is the spiritual place of the chart. The psychological and spiritual transformation needs to happen. And it's all internal. It's just inside. We're feeling like there is just something you're searching for something else and you need something else. And so your spiritual practices need a shift and need some form of change. Now, the spiritual stuff aside, what this can represent too, the 12th house, is working behind the scenes, again, more humanitarian things, Aquarius, but also working in institutions that tend to be for disenfranchised people or people who really need help, like churches who really do help a lot of homeless people, feed the homeless, help people with food. Groups like here in New Hampshire, we have this group, it's called Gather. Lots of food donation, and they go to different towns on different days where people can you have to fill out an application. You just can't go and get food, but it's just fantastic for supplying people. It's more than a food kitchen. But these are the types of things that you could be inspired. You can be inspired to do those things, whether you have it in your 12th house or not, because all of this Aquarius energy is about helping humanity in the way that you want to help them. But again, if you have it in here, you might find yourself drawn to helping. Maybe you want to do a reading program in a prison, or a reading program in a, volunteer at a nursing home, or, those are all institutions. So if you're feeling drawn to something like that, just look at it right now. The next 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, while the rest of these planets are finishing up Aquarius and eventually just leave Pluto alone, that's what you have an opportunity to feel inspired to do. So keep an eye on that, if you will. Yeah. And so let me animate this. And it doesn't matter what that is, but I will just show you over the next few weeks. We're just going to advance this, how the other planets are just moving away and out of Aquarius. See, and then eventually it looks like it's about, like I said, about March 22nd. Yeah, here it is, 22nd, 23rd. Everybody is out of Aquarius by then. So it's just Pluto evolving and changing and helping us to change. So here's that chart one last time. So first house, our appearance, our self-awareness, the outer personality, how people see us. The second house, our money, our values, our possessions. Third house is that thinking, learning, community. Home, parents, our roots, our inner security, the psychological history that we have, our creativity, children, romance, fun, passion. Fifth house. Sixth house, our work, our health, our service, self-improvement, our habits, our patterns. Seventh house, the partnerships, marriage, any other partnership, business, close. This is where your good friendships are. Your acquaintances are in the 11th house. The 8th house is that money, those resources. Remember we talked about that? Those types of instincts. The 9th house, what we believe in, plus all of these things here too, how we're exploring and we needing to change what we believe in. The 10th house, that career, that reputation, that purpose, that's evolving too. If it's in the 11th house, it's the groups, the goals, what you're inspired to do. That's evolving too. And again, that 12th house, those institutions, transcending the physical, what we believe in, all of that's evolving too. Yeah, it's crazy. That's a lot. Remember, even though it's a lot, it's only happening in one area in your chart. Throughout the years, Pluto this year won't get past the third degree of Aquarius, I believe. Let's take a quick peek. I can't remember exactly. It's in my head. It's 1 degree. Come on, turn. It's when Pluto goes retrograde. There it is at 2 in May 2nd, May 1st, May 2nd. Pluto goes retrograde at 2 degrees of Aquarius in 6 minutes. So Pluto doesn't go ahead very far. And it goes back to 29 Capricorn in fall. How can we use this? So here's some physical ways that you can do this too. You can just find a new way of being spiritual or genre, or just, again, get out there. If you're drawn to it, if you're not drawn to it, you don't have to do it. There'll be internal changes instead. But one of the physical things that I like working with is sound healing. I mean, I don't have any crystal bowls. I don't have anything specific. I just turn on YouTube on my TV, sometimes on the computer. When I'm on the computer, I'm always working. So I can't have anything going on when I'm working. I have to be quiet. But the sound way in the other room, because I work from home, that room back there, turn on solfeggio tones, turn on crystal healing, and sometimes turn on just the vibrational stuff that can help to clear the energy, break up the old static way of just the ugly things that it's like having, crust all over you. It's like, let's break that off. We're meant to evolve now. We're here, we're alive in this time period because we're evolving and having all of these planets in Aquarius. And like I said, eventually just Pluto, it gives us that chance to evolve and move into a higher vibration. There certainly is an awful lot of other things going on in the world that are very ugly and very grounding, and we all have to deal with that too. But we can focus on this one piece once in a while and just say, all right, how am I moving beyond this? How am I evolving? How am I transcending where I've been so I can be in another place, in another new vibe, and take care of myself in the meantime? Yeah. All right, I'm going to leave us with that. Now, for those of you who are not in tier 4, I haven't announced it yet. One more announcement. I am starting another monthly live. I do the month ahead for tier 4. We do that. It's usually the first Wednesday night of every month. Depends on what night that is. Sometimes it gets bumped to the second Wednesday, depending on if it's the first of the month or not. I always announce them so you will know. I'm talking about the lunar gestation cycle. I talk about that a lot in the weekly forecast. The new moon, the first quarter, the full moon, the last quarter, back to a new moon. Lunar gestation cycle. I'm going to start a group. I haven't quite figured out what day we're going to start yet, but I'll make the big official written announcement. Y'all are hearing it now. On Friday, I'll put it up written so I'll have it all written out, but this is your announcement. I guess I'm doing it now. It's at 12:30. See, this is us astrologers. Write down the day and time you start something and see if it works. So I want you to join us. It's going to be in tier 4, though. You will have to up your tier if you're in tier 3. We're going to work with it once a month, the lunar gestation cycle. We're going to look at the current one in the whole month and how it plays out, what the other dates are, really dig in deep. So we'll have an hour between all of us, whoever comes in live. I've never had a lot of people, so pretty good chance we'll just have a few people every month, and we'll be able to look at the charts and just say it was in this house. And this is so really digging into how to use the lunar gestation cycle throughout your year and how to use it so you can feel more depth to the lunar events, because we have lunar events every week, once a week. It's the new moon, a week later is the first quarter, a week later is the full moon, a week later is the last quarter. However, the lunar gestation cycle puts them in the same zodiac sign, and they're 9 months apart, and they're all within about 5 degrees of the same place, which is what we really want to look at. What's the bigger story? 3 years is a much better time frame to initiate something and to work with it and to see how it worked out, as opposed to 1 week. I can't do shit in a month. If it's something big and important. If it's something little, that's fine. But if it's something big and important, I really need time. How about you? All right. That is what we're going to be working on. And you guys, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you are my foundation. The way you support me here. I don't have a ton of people, but you are my foundation. And I want to grow that, because this is where I really want to stay focused, is working with people who choose to be here, appreciate that you pay for it. That supports me, because this is all I do. I don't have any trust account. And I appreciate that. And you all know that anyways. And so, yeah, always more. And I'm very grateful. Blessings, everybody. Namaste.